you can still be our friend and watch it later. But welcome to the Medicare Cafe. I am your host, Olivia Richardson, and today I wanted to talk specifically about why social media isn't working. I have a love affair with marketing. I know we're all salespeople, but I like to think of us more as advisors than true salespeople. I genuinely love marketing because marketing gives you the idea or gives you the ability to be really creative with it. Sales is a process. Sales is an art, but it's a process. Marketing allows you just to kind of do it and see what happens. So I love the idea of marketing. We focus a lot on social media because COVID has made social media boom since 2020. In fact, the statistics of how many people over the age of 65 are utilizing social media to connect with loved ones is huge, but the fact that they're using it for sales research as well. People are going to their friends, neighbors, families on social media like Facebook in order to get advice on where to buy products, where to buy services, who to use for advisors. So we focus a lot on social media. I wanted to talk about why your social media may not be yielding the results that you would like to see. So just kind of talking about what do you want from your social media? How can you get that social media? These are the most common mistakes I see people make. First of all, I want to address, making sure everybody can see my screen here, what are your expectations of your social media? Because they might be wrong. I truly believe that success is measured by how well your expectations are met. So if you get your social media page and you're like, I don't have 100 clients for my Facebook, you're going to have a hard time. So number one is to make sure that your expectations are correct in utilizing your social media. Your social media, and I'm going to say social media, I really mean Facebook. Your Facebook page is not designed to get you leads. That's just not the purpose of Facebook. Facebook is designed to be a relationship building tool. It's allow for you to actually build more of Facebook is the human side of you. It is like, what is it that makes you a human being? Not the scary side of you, the stuff that like you actually want people to know. It's kind of like running your own magazine about yourself and about your agency. Facebook is a way for you to be able to get people to become friends with you, but on a mass basis. So if you really want to measure like how successful is your Facebook page, your Facebook page should be measured by engagement. How many people are liking your content, sharing your content? How many people have subscribed or liked your page? That's truly how you're measuring success of Facebook. So you are going to see you will see some leads. You will see some people, some leads come in because they found you on Facebook or you were reviewed by Facebook, but that's not the expectations. So before we get into why it's not working, first things first, is it working and how do you measure if it's working? So the number one mistake I see people make on social media is that they don't post enough. So I know if you like hire somebody to manage your social media account, they're going to try to sell you that you need to hire somebody because they say you need to post minimum 7 times a week. You need to post daily. You need to post multiple times a day if you can. And if I was like the science behind that, that is probably true, that the more you post, the better off you're going to be because there's just more content. I don't subscribe to that because I live in the real world, I think is how I would word that. So I say post 3 to 5 times a week. Posting more than that may get you seen more often, but it also at that point can't annoy or actually get people to become more numb to your content. Kind of like how you don't even watch McDonald's ads anymore because you see McDonald's all the time. So it's kind of a nice balance between being seen and being present, but not people getting numb to your message. Also keep in mind, it's really a super helpful tool to backdate your posts. And so if you're new to Facebook or maybe you just were inactive with Facebook for quite some time, go on, they have a whole platform on your business, they call it the business suite for making posts, but I would go on there and actually like post fake posts that you've had and say that you posted them months ago. Because what people do when they do research on you, they don't just look at what you have. What they do is they scroll and they kind of see the content that you are posting. So if there's massive gaps in your post or they see that you're a very new page, it actually hurts your credibility and completely defeats the purpose of Facebook. So backdate some posts, get some stuff on there so that people do any research on you. It makes it look like you've been active for a while and builds your credibility. And then make sure you schedule your posts ahead of time. I think if you've listened to me talk at all about social media, you know my like tried and true, my method to success with Facebook. I currently am managing 6 different Facebook posts. And of course I have a 1.5-year-old, I have a full-time job here, I, have friends and hobbies. So what I do is I do my Facebook posts on Sunday nights. And I measure how much time it takes me to do my Facebook post by how much wine is left at the bottle. So what I do is I schedule them out ahead of time. Of course, I pour out my glass of wine, get super creative with my post. You can slur and type. I promise I do it every week. And you sit there and you just kind of make your posts. You schedule 3 or 4 of them out. You can even schedule posts up to like a month at a time. I wouldn't recommend doing that because like your content may not be relevant in a month from now, but making sure that you're scheduling them out 2 weeks at a time so that it's out of sight, out of mind, and then you just know that your fun wine nights are whenever you get to schedule your Facebook posts. So make it easy on yourself. Make it to where you're going to do it consistently. Consistency is key. The only thing worse than not having a social media account is to have an inconsistent social media account. I think I've beat that horse till it's dead enough. Number 2 is that people will use Facebook as an opportunity to sell. And I understand it because that's what we do. We're salespeople. So you'll get in a crowd or you'll get into that standpoint and you just want to tell everybody what you do. So keep in mind, Facebook specifically is designed for friends, families, hobbies, and cat videos. If you are not one of those things and you're not talking about one of those things, then your content's going to be ignored. My friends from high school, I know, does everybody experience this? Surely I'm not the only one. Please make me feel better about myself. My friends from high school who I haven't talked to in 15 years will send me a message on Facebook being like, hey, how's it been? Hey, here's this crap that you can buy from me. Or are you tired of being fat? Are you tired of dressing bad? Like, they reach out to me to start selling me crap. And like instantly I'm just like, no, I unfollow them. I don't pay attention to them. I'm actually kind of annoyed if people try to sell to me on Facebook. So it does more harm than good. People start, again, becoming numb to your content. I guess I'm the only one. Nobody else has friends from high school or college that messages them trying to sell them crap. So make sure, again, keep your content lighthearted. Food is one of the top sellers on social media. Food, if you post recipes or you post any content surrounding food, you will get engagement. People will share and like your stuff. So I like to do things that are relevant to the senior market, but aren't necessarily trying to sell to them. So things like I always talk about cinnamon roll recipes for those who are diabetic, cookie recipes to make with your grandkids, healthy recipes to help you watch your cholesterol, things like that. There's also content like how to avoid a fall this winter. If you are going to you can do some Medicare relevant stuff or Medicare related stuff, like here are the new numbers for 2022. Here's how much you can expect to pay in your Medicare costs in 2022. So there are things, and Brian jumped on here. Brian thought he says, do your friends sell diet plans? That's exactly why they're reaching out to me, Brian. But again, one thing so keeping it lighthearted, keeping it content that's relevant to the senior market, but isn't about selling. The one thing that I would recommend is actually if you have a contract with senior marketing specialists, you have access to SMS Agent Connect. So we post for you daily. You go on there and copy and paste, makes the content looks like it's coming from you. So it's a great way, again, to have content that's relevant, have content that people care about, but you're not selling. The hardest part about a social media account is finding out what to post. That's probably the most time-consuming part of it, and we've done that work for you. So there's really no excuse not to do it at this point. Yeah, and that's what Howard mentioned. He says, I stopped asking friends on mass quantity 30 years ago. I'd rather just market to the 63 to 70-year-olds. We'll talk about that here in a little bit, how to make sure you're getting the most out of that page. So number 3 is you're working on the wrong type of posts. And I see this happen a lot. I'm seeing it less. So we're learning, we're teachable. But I do see a lot of people who make a Facebook post and they will just put like a sentence or two, or even worse, they'll put like a paragraph as a post. Don't do that. So Facebook posts are designed to be like billboards. Imagine you're going down a billboard, you see a giant picture and 7 words tops. Like that's the most you see on a billboard is 7 words. And because you have a very limited time where you actually pay attention to that before you're on to the next thing, or hopefully you're watching the road. Like that seems unsafe. So when you're doing that, Facebook is the exact same way, except you even have a shorter window of looking at that Facebook post because people do the dreaded scroll. You have to find a way to stand out in like a 3-second window for somebody to scroll on to the next post. So making sure pictures are great. Never post something without a picture. Minimum. Picture is the bare minimum. Everything should have some sort of picture. Now, if you really want to do awesome in using social media, video is king. Not only are people more likely to watch a video than to read a post, but Facebook's actually going to pull your videos more than they will a post because Facebook likes videos. So your search engine optimization is actually going to be higher with a Facebook video. And the king of all kings is going to be doing Facebook Live. Facebook Live works because you're using a Facebook tool, and Facebook's going to do whatever they can to promote themselves. So if you have let's just say you line them up. You have a post with only words, you're not going to be seen. Facebook is not going to ever pull your content. You're going to be seen very little. A picture with words, you're going to show up on a lot of people's stuff, but they may not be enough or may not be compelled to stop and look at it as much. A video, Facebook is going to post that as often probably as a picture. However, people are going to pay more attention to it and at least watch the first couple minutes of it or first few seconds of it. Facebook Live, not only are people going to watch it more, but Facebook is going to pimp it out. It's going to put it in front of everybody who's liked your content. So try that. If you're looking for what's good content for Facebook Live, try doing a series. So doing, if you do like a weekly series on top 10 things you didn't know about Medicare, there's 10 weeks or 10 videos worth of content where you break down one thing each time. Again, keep sales out of it, but keep it informative. I also recommend turning on what's it called whenever you're reading subtitles. This is what subtitles means. I would also recommend turning on subtitles because the majority of people actually don't click on the video to watch it. They'll look at the video and read along with the subtitles because a lot of people don't want, like, especially if they're watching on a mobile device, don't want the sound coming out into the open air. So I would recommend turning on subtitles when it comes to those posts. And I do have some questions here. I want to read them and make sure I'm answering them. Brian says that the chair makes it seem like yeah, I'm too lazy. So I'm glad I get to sit in a comfy chair where I get to really get down to the details of things. And Terry's asking, is this for a regular Facebook page or for a business? All of this is surrounded by a business Facebook page. Me personally, I would not promote myself as much on my personal Facebook page. I would have a business Facebook page and then keep the two very, very separately. Because some people may have some thoughts and ideas they are willing to share on your personal page that you don't necessarily want your clients to know about that. So I would keep those very separate. So making sure that you aren't using your personal Facebook page to promote yourself, you actually have a business account or a business page set up. Last but not least, ask for interaction, making sure you're telling people, hey, like and share this, or even saying things like, hey, if we're like what I just did earlier, talking about am I the only person who has this happen to me? Asking that in your videos, asking people to comment, asking people to like, asking people questions and asking them to answer those questions during that live or during that video. If you're asking, the more that people interact with that post, Facebook algorithms are going to say, oh, people are interacting with this, it must be good content, and they're going to post it more often. So asking people to interact with you and to interact with that post is actually going to make it show up more often. And Brian says, most of my thoughts aren't shareable. And Brian, I would agree with that. Again, the last thing, or not the last, but one of the last things I'm going to say, the biggest mistakes people make is that they have no love and they have no fans on their social media. So making sure, keep in mind, the only way that social media is going to put your content in front of others is that they have liked or subscribed to your page. So they have to essentially go up to your Facebook, push, and they have to make a choice. It's not like it just happens. You can't auto subscribe people to your Facebook. They have to go and actively like or subscribe to that page. And so a lot of people, the biggest thing that I see is that people say, well, I have 600 friends, 1,000 friends, but most of them aren't my clients. Most of them aren't people over the age of 65. And this is where I say, get everybody on your page. I don't care if you're working with only Medicare age individuals, go ahead and invite your friend from spin class, or invite that guy you met that was kind of weird at the bowling alley. Go ahead and invite everybody to like your Facebook page, because even if they're not potential clients for you, they're going to have friends, neighbors, family, like maybe not the bowling alley guy, but most people will have friends, families, loved ones who are going to be asking about your services. And if they see your content, you are more likely to be top of mind, to be recommendable. So making sure that, again, even if they're not who you want to as a client, they still will have people that they can recommend you for. So making sure you invite everyone to the page. Let the world know that you have a Facebook page. Every single appointment, you need to tell your clients to like you on Facebook. Every thank you card, every newsletter, all of your emails should have a signature that says like me on Facebook. You need to just scream it from the rooftop and let everybody know, and actively ask them to like you on Facebook. Because again, remember, what is the goal of Facebook? To build a relationship and to stay top of mind. The more they see your content, the more you're going to be relevant and the more you're going to be top of mind. So it is your best interest to have your clients like you on Facebook, friends, family, loved ones, that dog walker, get everybody like you on Facebook. Now, if you have done all that, you've exhausted your friends list, all of your clients have liked you on Facebook, if you've literally been the king of content and have done all of that, you do have an option that's called boosting your posts. Boosting your posts are different than Facebook leads. Boosting a post means that when you boost a post, you can choose for a post that you make to actually be promoted or be on the pages of people who have not yet liked your content. So if they haven't subscribed to you, they're not going to see any of it. What boosting a post says, hey, even though like you haven't liked my stuff yet, I'm going to pay money to the Facebook gods to make sure that my post is going to make it to your computer screen. And it's a really valuable, cheap, it's extremely cheap, really low cost, and it's super easy to do. I don't say the same thing about Facebook leads. It's not on here. Don't do Facebook leads yourself. Farm those out, because it's a nightmare of a mess and it's just terrible, but they work really well. I'm talking about boosting. Boosting you can do yourself, very cheap, very affordable, takes that content, puts it in front of people who have not yet liked your content. So if you're gonna boost a post, I would recommend boosting posts that it's about you or about your agency. So did you just run a 5K to save people, or run a 5K to raise money for cancer? Boost that post. Make sure it's all over your agency. Did you just save a client $1,800 a year by switching their Medicare supplement? Boost that post. Did your client just write you a rave review about why you're the best agent that's ever existed ever? Boost that post. Make sure the post is about you and the benefits of having you as their agent. Not the same thing as selling, just letting people know why you're such an incredible person to work with. So try boosting. If you are interested in doing Facebook ads, I would say try boosting first, then graduate to ads. So if you have questions on Facebook ads, let me know. Yeah, Lee Sher was asking if there is a SMS agent who does this well, so they can see kind of what they do. There is. I would recommend calling our office to talk about their situation, because I don't want to put any agent on blast that isn't aware that I'm going to put them on blast. I'll tell you an agency that does the best at social media. We have them talk at the Sales Summit almost every year, and they talk about social media. One of the biggest things, they're from a small town, some very small town, Missouri. But what they do every year is that they actually do major giveaways. So they're in the same town as the Missouri State Fair. So they'll do giveaways of like and share this content for a chance to win 2 tickets tonight for tonight's rodeo. Or, hey, stop by the office or put, comment or stop by the office and give this passcode for a chance to win these tickets. So they do a ton of giveaways and things like that. But what's really cool is the giveaways promote their small town. They promote small businesses. They do a lot of networking on there. The biggest thing is that they just post all the time. They post almost daily, but they post at least 5 times a week. And it's content that it's never salesy. One thing I love to see what people post is actually, especially if you have an agency and you have admin staff, do an admin highlight, a weekly highlight of, hey, this week I'm going to highlight Jennifer. Jennifer has worked with our agency since 2008. She has 2 kids. She has these hobbies, but getting people, again, to feel like they know your team, they know you, they know your office, build that relationship. So doing things that are very personal and to get people to feel like they're working with their friends, not working with a company. That's how you become referable. People refer their friends, they don't refer 1-800 numbers. Perfect. So I think that's all I have here for today, guys, is those are the top 4 mistakes I see people making on their social media. So if you have any questions or want to talk any more in depth about that, now is your chance. Ask those questions, any comments, concerns, threats, or promises. Here to answer them for you. But again, this is social media. If you're not doing social media, I don't want to say it's too late because it's never too late. But if you're not currently on social media, step 1, get on there. I recommend Facebook for business to consumer practices. Build your Facebook page. Our office can help you build that and start backdating posts. If your first post is from today and somebody goes and finds you on Facebook, it's going to look like you're new. It's going to look like you're a new agency and unexperienced, and so it could potentially hurt your credibility. So start backdating. I'd say at least a month worth of content. People aren't going to scroll that far back, but start backdating posts, get some pictures on there. More than happy to kind of walk you through that, what that would look like. Howard asked, who should we ask regarding social media references? So Howard, feel free to call our office. Our agent resources team they're trained on social media. They're trained on helping you build social media, where to get access to posts and things like that. They can also, give you some examples of individuals who do a great job at their social media. So just talk to our agent resource team. They're able to help you out with that at Senior Marketing Specialist. Of course, the number 1-800-689-2800. Again, I'm also available to help out as well. Brian said, is Sadie Upgrady mad at me? She's not. I don't think so. Sadie's on here. Sadie, are you mad at me? Inquiring minds want to know. Again, please, guys, like us on Facebook. Facebook is where we post our What's Brewing episodes. What's Brewing is where we take just industry things that are going on, industry things or Medicare technicality things. We stay away from the selling, stay away from the marketing on there. But they're talking about things that you need to know about what's going on in the industry right now. It's a weird year. Did you guys see recently that President Biden has come out saying that he is going to make insurance companies start paying for the at-home COVID test, trying to free up ability for people to get tests. So that announcement, they said starting January 15th, insurance companies are going to be forced to actually pay for the at-home COVID tests, which I think is very interesting. Have you guys seen that? Any questions on that? Obviously, I don't know that I can answer